Please tell me.
No.
Please, because I'll never
Don't ask. Don't ask.
I'll never tell.
No.
No matter what.
It's not.
I'd die before I told.
It's not you telling. Even if you didn't.
I wouldn't.
It's you knowing. It's too awful. I can't.
But tell me.
No.
Because if you don't, there's this secret between us.
Stop it.
If there's this secret, we're not...
Please.
We're not close anymore. We can't ever.
But nobody knows everything about...
Yes, but a big secret like this.
It's not such a big...
Then tell me.
Will you stop?
It's big because you won't tell me.
No, I won't.
Is it something you've...
Don't start guessing.
Or something you want to?
Please.
Or you've seen, or heard, or know, or...
Please.
And if it's something you've done, is it a crime? Or a sin? Or just embarrassing because whichever...
No, I don't want you to know.
All right.
All right. I'll tell you.
You don't have to.
I'll tell you.
Yes. Tell me because I'll never.
It's not that.
Tell me because I'll always.
All right. I'm telling you.
No.
Yes.
No!
I warned you.
But that's...
Yes.
Oh no, that's...
Yes.
How could you?
I did.
Now what? Now what? Now what?
Dans notre quotidien, ces châtaignes au
Why do they need to know all this stuff?
They're doing research. It guides their policy. They use it to help people.
They use it to sell us things we don't want.
No, that's the people who phone up. I don't answer any of their questions. I just say no thank you. There's no need to swear at them.
I've made a mess of it now anyway.
You'll get into trouble if you don't do it.
They won't know.
They know you exist.
Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Love him so much.
Love him more than you.
I jump out the window.
Eat fire.
Cut off my hand.
Eat dog shit.
Kill my mother.
Eat cat food.
Ugh.
Just to touch him.
Just to tell him.
Just to see him.
Just to have him see me.
He was born at 2:10 in the morning, and I was born at 10:02.
How do you know?
Mum says.
10:02?
She said just after 10, so that's 2.
That isn't 2.
It is 2.
Anyway, he was born on Tuesday and I was born on Wednesday. And you were only born on Friday.
That's stupid.
His favourite colour's blue.
Favourite food's chili.
Favourite animal, snakes.
Favourite holiday was in Bermuda.
What's his favourite smell?
Roses.
You're making that up.
Well, what?
I'm asking you.
You don't know.
I'm asking you.
You don't know, do you? Go on, tell me.
You tell me.
I don't know. You tell me.
All right. I don't know, so we've got to find out.
You mean neither of us know?
It's all right. We'll find out.
Oh, I can't believe neither of us.
Oh, it's in here somewhere.
I know I used to know.
Wait.
Is it chicken?
Wait.
You can't find it.
Can't.
You're not looking properly.
I can't find it.
Here, let me.
You can't find it.
Wait.
It's not there.
Wait.
See, you can't.
What are we going to do?
We've got to know.
I won't be able to sleep.
What are we going to do?
He's wearing me out.
Take a break.
Do you want to go in?
I'll give him a cigarette.
He's not ready to talk.
I thought we'd got there yesterday.
Oh, I thought we'd got there yesterday. But he's past that.
He'll get to where he'll say anything.
We're not paid extra for it to be true.
I'll give him a cigarette while you have a cigarette. And I'll tell him you'll be back.
We could go for a walk. It's a beautiful...
So, we hatch a batch of eggs in the lab
Where'd you get
from the poultry breeders who supply them to the battery.
Oh, the intensive.
Yes, or some of them might go to farms, but either way.
So, either way they're going to
Yes,
be...
by 12 weeks they'll be plucked and lying on their backs.
In a supermarket?
On your table.
So, you're not taking the life?
I am taking the life.
But even if you didn't, they'd be...
They wouldn't live to be old chickens, no.
So, you've got the chickens and...
About a day old, fluffy yellow like Little Easter.
And you do some experiment on them?
What we do is we get them to peck.
Because chicks do peck a lot.
They peck at everything. What we do is we get them to peck beads that have been dipped either in water or some stuff that tastes bitter.
Not poison?
No. It makes them wipe their beaks on the floor and then they're fine again. And of course, we're writing all this down and which chick and which bead and how many pecks. And then my colleague injects this tiny amount of very slightly radioactive liquid into each side of the chick's brain. So...
Oh, no. Stop.
I know, but they don't seem at all.
It doesn't hurt.
They don't show any.
Okay. So, what's it for? It's gonna show up something in the brain?
Because what we've injected has a sugar in it that gets used up by the nerve cells, and the more sugar is taken up, the more brain activity. And the radioactivity acts as a tracer, like in a scanner. So you can measure that and see exactly where in the brain the sugar.
The idea is it's different in the different...
What we hope to see, you see, is that it's different.
Depending on what they've learnt about this?
Yes, because we give them the beads again, and they've learned, because the ones who had the beads with water come back and peck it again, and the ones...
They won't peck it?
The ones that had the bitter bead have learned not to peck it.
That is terrific.
But that's not what we're finding out. What we're finding out...
Changes in the brain?
Exactly. What changes in the brain corresponds to that memory.
So, to do that, you have to...
Yes. I hold the bird in my left hand and quickly cut off its head with a big pair of scissors. And I drop the body in a bucket, and I take the head and peel back the skin and cut around the skull, and there's the brain.
There's the brain?
So, I put it in a dish of ice, and my colleague cuts it into slabs with a razor blade, and then he dissects out tiny samples that he puts into test tubes, and they're immediately frozen. Well, meanwhile, I'm taking the brain out of the next chick.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
And You analyse?
Yes, and there is a substantial increase.
So you can measure?
And not just the increase, but exactly where, because if you slice...
Slice the brain?
Slice the frozen brain into thin sections and you put them on slides, you get pictures.
You can see?
You can see exactly, depending on how dark, and you can convert it into false colour, which of course just looks...
Prettier?
Prettier, yes, and easier to read, though the information is the same.
Which is...
That the learning takes place on the left side of the brain.
You can see...
And there's another version where you stain the samples with silver salts, and then you can count the new spines on dendrites, which are...
Yeah, the little tiny...
Because at that degree of magnification, a thumbnail would be 250 metres wide.
So you can see the memory?
Yeah, you can see the actual changes.
You can see what the chick has learned about the bead?
The difficulty of getting the Israelis and Palestinians to...
Can't sleep.
Hot milk?
Ugh, I hate it now.
A book?
I haven't got one I like.
Just lie there and breathe.
Oh, my head's too full of stuff. Are you asleep?
No. No. What? It's fine.
You can't sleep?
I think I'll just get up and go on Facebook.
You don't seem to have a TV.
Well, there used to be one, but it stopped working. The reception's no good here anyhow.
I brought my laptop.
You, might have a reception problem there.
It's not that I need it. There's no phone signal here, is there?
You'd have to go to town. Or, I think someone said there's a spot. About 2 miles up the road if you go down towards the cliff and stand on a rock. You'd have to know it.
We can listen to the radio. Does it work?
I did warn you.
I know.
It's quiet here.
I like it quiet.
You can always cycle down and get a newspaper, or...
It's alright.
I don't have the time, you see, to...
Don't you sometimes want a weather forecast?
I want you to be happy here.
I am happy here.
You'll find you can feel if it's raining.
don't know if I should tell you,
What?
but you're my friend more than she is.
What is it?
What do you think yourself? Is it better to know things or to not know things? Is it better to just let things be the way you think they are, the way they are really? Because if someone tells you something that might change everything, do you want that? Do you think it's interfering? Or is it what a friend ought to do?
But you're going to have to tell me now. You know that.
But people might say, you shouldn't say anything because you might not want to hear anything against your best friend, but I do keep seeing them together. And last night, I was having a drink with her after work, and he just sort of turned up. And after a bit, they left together. They hardly bothered to come up with a story. I just wondered, I'm probably imagining things, and I shouldn't put ideas into your head because it may all be perfectly alright. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have kept quiet. Oh dear, I've told you now.
They're having an affair.
They are? You know that? You knew that?
I've known that quite a while.
How long?
3 years?
And you're okay with it?
Yes, it's all okay. Thanks, though.
Well, Mum's out.
What?
I've something to tell you.
Okay.
So you need to look at me.
I'm listening.
I need to feel you're really paying attention.
I can pay attention and do other things at the same time. I'm not brain dead. I can see and hear everything.
Will you listen?
I'm listening. Fuck off. Is this gonna take long?
Don't pay attention then. I'm just telling you, you might like to know Mum's not your mother. I'm your mother. Mum's your nan, okay? Did you listen to that?
Does Mum know you're telling me?
I just decided.
Are we going to tell you told me?
I don't know, do you think?
Why didn't she say before? She doesn't want me to know. She's going to go crazy.
It'll be okay.
It's not my fault. She can't blame me for knowing.
It'll be okay. I'll tell her I told you. It's my fault.
How old were you? Wait. 13? You were 13? 13?
Yes, that's why.
It's probably better than not being born.
That's what I thought. I thought you'd like to be born.
Who's my dad then?
I didn't see him anymore. He went to a different school. He was 12.
I don't think I feel like you're my mum though. I don't have a sister. I don't like that. Do you want me to feel different about you?
I just didn't want it to be something I could never say.
I'd like it if everything could go on like it was.
You mean not tell Mum?
Do we have to?
But then you would have something you could never say.
I've got a stomachache.
I don't care if she goes crazy.
So long as it's you she goes crazy with.
I can tell her to leave you alone because I'm your mum.
I don't think that works.
Is an irrational number real?
It's real to me.
But can you have an irrational number of oranges?
Not as things stand, no.
I'm not comfortable with the whole idea.
There was someone called Hippasus in Greek times who found out about the diagonal of a square and they drowned him because no one wanted to know things like that.
Like what?
Numbers that make you uncomfortable and don't relate to oranges.
I can see how they might want to do that.
Drown him?
Well, maybe he should have kept quiet about it if he knew they couldn't stand it.
Is that what you do?
Thinking of taking one of the kittens. So there's a ginger one, or a...
It's a message.
Killing people?
Yes, because then they understand.
Killing yourself?
They understand what you're telling them.
But they don't, do they? They just...
Because the deaths show how important it is.
No, they just say you're a terrorist or...
And the terror is a message.
But they don't get that, do they? They just pass laws and lock people up.
If enough people did it, because they don't really feel terror, do they? They don't live in terror. If they lived in terror, they'd be getting the message.
Would you do it yourself?
I don't think I would. No.
Because you're scared?
I don't think that message is what I want to say.
What did you do that for?
I thought...
What do you think's going to happen to you? And to me and the children? Did you think about that?
I know, but... It seemed like the right thing to do.
So will we have to change who we are and go live somewhere else?
I didn't say.
And you'll be a protected witness, and all our life we'll be living in fear, in a mobile home in a desert in America?
I didn't say who I was. I just made the phone call.
From your own phone?
No, of course not from my own phone. I'm not stupid.
But you are. But okay. From a public?
Yes, of course.
But near here? Like, in the high street?
No, I took a train.
You took a train? When?
Today, to make the call, I went to Brighton.
Why Brighton?
I don't know, somewhere you can go quickly on a train.
So you didn't go work? You weren't at work, you could have got the kids from school.
I was in Brighton.
I'd like to have a day out in Brighton.
It wasn't a day out in Brighton. I made the call on a public phone in Brighton, I had a coffee, and I got the train back.
And what did you say?
I just gave them the name. I said, this is the person you want in connection with. No, I won't give my name, thank you. Goodbye. That's all.
But if they know the call came from Brighton, and they could find out who knew him, who went to Brighton...
They won't do that. They don't need to know who I am. They just need to know who to look at.
But if he finds out you went Brighton...
But he's not going to know what I did in Brighton.
You can't be sure of that. What if he's got a mate in the police who says, we've got a tip, it was you. It came from Brighton. And someone else tells him they saw you go on a train and go to Brighton.
How likely is that? Why would he have a mate in the police? Of course he doesn't have a mate in the police. Do I have a mate in the police? You're making a whole thing up that's not going to happen.
I don't see why he had to do it.
Wasn't very nice what he did, was it?
He's a friend of yours.
He's not a friend of mine.
He's not now. He doesn't know he's not now. What if you see him? What if I see him? What if he comes round here and says the police are on to me? What am I going to do? Can you help me?
You're making things up again.
No, I'm not. That's what's going to happen.
You shouldn't fire people by email.
You can't come bursting in here and shouting.
I'm just saying, you need to say it face to face.
I'm sorry. I do appreciate, but I'm busy at the moment. If you could...
I need to be looked in the eye. And you saying you're firing me.
Redundancy isn't the same as...
Just say it to my face. You're fired. Just say it. You're a coward and you can't say it.
Why don't you speak to my PA and make an appointment?
Just say it. You're fired. Just say it.
Doctor, one thing before I go. Can you tell me how long I've got?
There's not an exact answer to that.
I'd be grateful for anything you can give me. An idea?
Well, let me say 10% of people with this condition are still alive after 3 years.
That's helpful. Thank you.
How do you know I'm evil?
I've been told it.
Who by? Who by?
You know the traffic lights at the corner?
Yes.
I'm getting signals. The ones on the left as you go up from here.
Okay, and what do they say?
I won't tell you.
Why not?
Because it's about you. It's what you're like. And you know that yourself. I'm not going to say it.
Do they tell you to hurt people?
Not people. You.
But you know when you take your medication that doesn't happen.
That's why I stopped, because it was making it hard to get the information.
You do know you're ill.
I've been told that.
God told you to do it.
He did. Yes.
How?
How do you mean, how?
Well, did you hear words?
It was the word of God.
But like something you could hear with your ears? Actual words from outside you?
They came into me.
The words?
What God said.
So you didn't exactly hear?
In my heart.
So how does that work then?
I was praying about it.
In words?
Sometimes in words, sometimes just...
Oh, silently?
The words were silent. I was praying
in your head?
If you like. My head, my heart.
So sometimes in words and sometimes...
Sometimes just being in a state where I was praying.
I don't know what state that is.
Well, you have to take it from me. There is such a state.
Okay. So there you are praying.
Praying and not knowing.
seeking guidance, open to guidance from God.
Okay.
And he told me what to do.
What's his voice like?
Firm. Kind.
He speaks English.
What sort of question is that?
I know, but does he speak RP or have a regional accent? I'm just trying to understand what you heard.
It wasn't hearing like I hear you, but it was a hearing.
And he definitely said do it?
He said do it.
In words?
In words, and inside me, in knowing it was the right thing to do.
In your heart?
Right through my whole being.
In your toes?
Yes, in my toes. Will you stop now?
So, we went to war on a completely...
Yes, but how were they to know?
They did know. They knew. He'd already admitted it wasn't true.
He said it to the Germans.
And the CIA knew.
But Bush and Blair didn't know.
They didn't want to know.
They had to rely upon...
They wanted it to be true.
They thought it was true. Everyone thought.
Not everyone, no. Plenty of people. I didn't. I always knew that it wasn't true.
You can't have known.
I knew it was all made up stuff.
And how did you know?
Well, because of what America's like. What it wanted to do.
You didn't know it was made up. You wanted it to be made up. That's why you wanted to be true.
And it turns out I was right, didn't it?
Do you think you've just won an argument?
A glass of red, or...
I had this dream last night. I was in a garden and there were blackberries. Big bushes of brambles. I was picking them and a butterfly flew across and I could see this orange and black butterfly really clearly on a yellow rose. But then the whole thing was a dance because I was at the ballet. And I looked all those things up on a website about dreams. Blackberry, butterfly, ballet. And every single one means infidelity. So now I know he's cheating.
So you don't feel you have to be faithful to him anymore?
No. Why should I?
So that leaves the way clear for us?
Don't you think?
Unless it's not about him.
Who then?
You. You and me.
That would mean we're definitely going to do it.
So either way,
Either way.
Don't answer.
It's only...
Look, through the spy hole.
You're right. I thought it was the boy delivering
Don't
her.
answer. Don't.
Of course I won't answer. Don't panic.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Rushmore. I believe this is where you live. We saw you going in. We know the car outsiders.
Make him go away.
Shall I speak to him?
Yeah. No.
And of course, I respect your desire for privacy, and it would so much help your thousands of admirers to understand if you could say a few words to us about that privacy and how it feels to live here in a forest miles from.
I'm going to die.
Shh. It's alright.
5 minutes of your time. I could explain to the world why you've chosen to leave all behind and withdraw to this remote cottage.
I should have a gun.
Because that will enable you to set the record straight about your ex-wife's allegations.
I'm going to bed.
To confirm or deny that you said of the Queen that she...
I'll have to hide in the cupboard.
To put an end to the speculation once and for all about your...
Oh, I'd kill myself. Oh, but then they'd write an obituary.
Shall I tell him to...
No. Because then they're going to write about you.
It doesn't matter.
It does. They mustn't. If they know about you, and if you talk to them, then I'm never going to see you again.
Because we have a photograph of you taken last week and...
Why don't I just...
All right.
What?
Hello? Mr. Rushmore?
I have 3 things to say. I am now a citizen of China. I have 6 illegitimate children. I've recently been abducted by aliens and returned to the Earth unharmed.
Mr. Rushmore, if you could just open the door for a moment.
That's all right, you see. That's fine. If I tell him lies, then that's fine. I haven't told them anything about myself at all. That's fine. I feel fine about that. I think that's fine. I think I feel fine about it.
And when exactly were you last in China?
That's fine.
Good. I'm glad you feel okay about.
And, will he go away now?
In a while. He's sure to go away in a while if we keep...
Mr. Rushmore?
He's gone.
He's gone.
Well, that's alright then.
Yeah.
You handled that
No.
very...
I feel...
What?
I feel terrible, I feel.
But you didn't tell him.
But he knows.
He doesn't know anything. It was
He
lies.
knows I'm the person that told those lies.
No, because he doesn't know it was lies.
Yes, but he knows I said.
You mean he'll work out it's lies and...
Well, whichever. He knows I said those words. He knows I was the one in this room. We're gonna have to move. He knows it was me. He knows that I shouted out those.
So you don't feel as good as you...
No, I don't feel.
Once upon a time, there was a child who didn't know what fear was, and he wanted to find out. So his friends said, "Cold shiver down your back, legs go funny sometimes, your hands." No, not your hands. Yes, your hands. Tingle, it's more in your head. It's in your stomach, your belly. You shit yourself, you You can't breathe. Your skin creeps. It says shiver, shudder. Oh, do you really not know what it is? And the child said, I don't know. What do you mean? So they took him to a big, dark, empty house. Everyone said was haunted. They said, no one's been able to stay there till morning. You won't last there till midnight. You won't last an hour. And the child said, why? What's going to happen? And they said, you know what we mean about being frightened. And the child said, good, that's what I want to know. So in the morning, his friends came back, and there was the child sitting in the dusty room. And they said, you're still here? What happened? And the child said, they were weird. There were things walking about, dead things. Some of them didn't have heads, and a monster was growling. And his friends said, didn't you run away? And the child said, there were weird noises like screams and like music, but not music. And his friend said, what did it feel? And the child said, it came right up to me, put out its hand. And his friend said, didn't you hear your stomach, the back of your neck? Weren't you frightened? And the child said, no. It's no good. I didn't feel anything. I still don't know what it is. And on the way home, he met a lion, and the lion ate him.
It takes the light 2.8 million years to get here.
So we're looking at 2.8 million years ago.
It might not be there by now. It could have died.
So who's going to see that?
It might not even be people by then. The sun's only 8 minutes.
In the morning, let's wait 8 minutes and see if it's there now.
Breathe. Just breathe. I've got you. It's all alright. Alright.
Thank you. Sorry. I keep seeing. I can see. I can't stop seeing.
I wish I could stop it for you.
I'm short of smashing in my skull.
They say time. You may be able to forget, even if it's a long time.
Once it's in there, once you know that stuff.
What did you have for lunch on October the 3rd, 1998?
Chicken soup and a salad. I was at home. I had the chicken soup in a blue bowl. The salad had tomatoes, lettuce and chicory, but no onion, because I don't want my breath to smell of onion when I went to movies with my brother in the afternoon. The movie began at 2:15.
What was the movie?
Godzilla.
What happened in it?
You want the whole thing? Shot by shot?
Can you do that?
Let's not do that.
Okay. I remember Godzilla. There's a lizard that's been irradiated by a nuclear explosion. So it's a monster. It goes to New York and the American military drop bombs on it.
That's the one.
What did you do afterwards?
We walked back to my brother's place and had poached eggs on toast. I had 2 cups of tea in his red mug, the one with the chip.
What was the weather like?
Rain in the morning, but it cleared up. Rain in the evening, rain the next morning.
June the 6th, 2004.
I did tell you.
You didn't.
I did. I said Wednesday, we're going to dinner with...
But you didn't.
Yes, because I remember. Because you said...
All right. I must have forgotten. I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
Chicken tikka masala.
I'm glad we've done it. Just to see.
So am I.
After all these years.
Because it was very important at the time. It's been very important.
It has for me. All my life. Very important.
So, never to have seen each other again would have been...
It would have been impossible.
Would have been sad, anyway.
You remember the Italian restaurant?
No. Yeah. On the corner, was it?
With the bushes outside?
No. I'm mixing it up with,
I can see the waiter now.
No. I can't get the waiter.
The waiter! With the moustache who always smiled so much when we came in.
Oh, I used to have spaghetti carbonara and you had vongole.
I can't remember eating, no. I was too busy looking at you, probably.
I really loved you then.
I loved you.
I always remember you standing in that field.
Oh, I wonder where that was. Was it?
All the buttercups.
I've got a really clear picture of you running ahead of me down the street. We were running for a bus, I think.
Do you remember that hotel? Took a room for a couple of hours in a hotel. There was green wallpaper and we just stood there kissing.
I remember the first time.
No. That's got overlaid by so many other times. I can't. I remember once by a river. We were practically on a public footpath.
The kitchen? The kitchen at your friend's house?
Which friend?
I never knew your friends' names.
Was it Chris? Terry?
I don't know. You remember the kitchen?
I might, if I knew which house. Did we do it in a kitchen?
Behind the door. There was soup on the cooker.
I remember us just looking at each other.
The time in the street we just stopped.
I was thinking more a time where you were sitting on the side of the bed.
Was that early on or near the end?
Near the end, I think. Do you know the time I mean?
I sometimes go past that coffee shop.
Which one?
The one where we kept trying to say goodbye.
I think I've blotted that whole day out.
We were really happy.
Or sad. We used to cry.
Did we?
Sometimes.
This is the bit.
This is the funny bit.
Free
What?
spills.
Gets me every time.
Oh, and look, the sweet. Oh.
And wasn't she little then?
Just a tiny girl in her pink.
And now she's, my God, you should see her.
And her boyfriend.
Have you met him? He is the most.
And there's that
We
woman.
never knew who she was.
Yeah, she's there in the video, but who invited?
Someone who just goes to strangers' weddings.
There she is, talking to... Who is that? That uncle of yours, is it now?
And look at the dresses. I mean...
Because now you wouldn't
It shows you its history.
Yes, the children like it
And the
because...
grandchildren are going too.
And it can go down in the family, and they can
And
see.
all the ones of them as babies and little.
And all the ones of their weddings and their...
But it's sad we haven't got our grandparents' wedding video.
Oh, great.
Or everybody that ever lived. Videos of...
Henry VIII.
Jesus walking on the wall.
No further back if you Kate, if we had the Thunderlolls.
And dinosaurs.
But who'd be working the camera?
And things coming out of the sea. And tiny specks.
Then we'd know. We'd
We
know.
could keep,
We'd know what?
because I wouldn't remember all this if without the video. I wouldn't remember hardly anything at all about it because I can't remember anything about that day that's not on the video. Not clearly.
I can remember putting the
No.
ring.
I can't see that in my mind.
And somebody was sick.
Oh, look, it's the speeches now. Listen to Dad's speech. It's so...
To improve my mind,
No, but you've got a good...
my memory to improve.
Forget a lot.
Not.
Like names.
Yeah, like names, like faces.
We all...
Yes, but
Not worth worrying.
but I want to learn.
Ah,
Huge amount of memorizing.
of course.
Vocabulary,
Yes.
statistics. Every imaginable
I see your point.
stacked of information, which I have to
Somehow
acquire and retain.
So, how do you intend
This course, this memory,
to improve your...
lists as exercises.
Like getting the muscles,
Muscles of the brain,
which, of course, I know doesn't have muscles,
and more than that, a technique.
for remembering.
Yeah, ancient technique. Romans.
Didn't know they used this.
And all sorts. Renaissance.
They had a lot of brains then in the...
Leonardo da Vinci.
So, did he?
I don't know that he actually did.
Not this technique.
Not necessarily this actual technique.
Though he might have done.
It's beside the point. The point...
The actual technique.
The actual technique is you take a place like you could take a house.
Take a house?
Yeah. In your mind, this is a mental. Take a house you know in your mind.
Like my aunt's got a house?
There you are. Take this house in your mind, and you've got a list of things you want to remember.
Like what?
Like anything. Like this list I've got here, this exercise.
Crocodile pincushion.
And you go round the house. In your mind, you go round and you put something in each room.
Can't quite remember all the rooms, because...
You can't remember the rooms?
In my aunt's house. I've never...
Alright, okay. Just take where you live.
I'll only be able to remember 3 things.
No, you could go round the room and put one on the table and one on the chair.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but you'll have to remember what order.
What order I'm going round the room?
Is that alright?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, so I've got my house when I was a child in my mind, and I'm going to go round it now and put a crocodile on the doorstep.
A crocodile on the table.
A pincushion just inside on the mat.
Pincushion on the chair.
Pair of scissors in the sitting room on the sofa.
Pair of scissors on the other chair.
Axe in the dining room on the table.
Axe on the other chair.
Wristwatch.
Wristwatch.
Could you just, in your head, do you mind? I can't.
I'm not bothered by hearing yours.
Just keep seeing your room in my...
Because I don't know where you lived as a child, so it doesn't...
So, I can still say.
Yes, if it helps, and I'll just...
Thank you. Okay. So, wristwatch in the kitchen, on the cooker, elephant on the stairs, pound coin in the bathroom, biro on their bed, hedgehog on my bed, tree in the attic.
Tree.
Makes 10. So now we go round.
Pick them up.
Now on the doorstep, crocodile.
Crocodile pincushion.
Pincushion, yes. Scissors in the sitting room.
Scissors wristwatch.
No, not yet.
Oh, it's on the other.
Shh.
So it's...
Axe.
Axe. Axe. Wristwatch.
Wristwatch.
Elephant.
Pound coin.
Now, where did I put...
Oh.
What?
Bedroom.
On top of the CD player.
No. In the bedroom, I suddenly...
Biro?
Yes, of course, biro. But I suddenly...
What?
Saw my father.
In his bedroom?
My father getting dressed.
He's not... He wasn't...
No. It's nothing.
Nothing awful happened. You're not remembering?
No. Nothing like that. At all. I just suddenly saw him. And...
So... When did you last?
No. It's just that he's dead. And I don't...
Of course. No. Years ago, I'd forgotten.
No. It's nothing. It's just he was there. In the bedroom.
And that's a memory, is it?
Yes. I suppose it is. Of course it's a memory. From
when you were little.
Yes, because he's very tall. I'm only half his size, so...
So, is this like a new?
Yes. A new memory, and I'm seeing...
You can see with your eyes when you were...
Say, maybe 4, and the sunlight.
Sunlight?
Yes, because it's sunny in the room, shining in behind him, and on the floor on my feet.
You can see your feet?
Yeah, I can see my feet when I was 4.
Which isn't a memory you've always...
No. I've never.
And you're sure it's not some horrible...
Some repressed No, it's not. It's just a memory, isn't it?
So, the room faced east.
Oh, yes. It's morning in the room, and I just saw it.
Some sort of crossed wire.
Because, of course, it's Biro.
Biro.
Hedgehog.
I've lost the hedgehog. Wait, oh, it's in the microwave. I don't know where I went next. Oh, I know, on the pile of old newspapers. It's a tree.
Tree in the attic.
So, could we say the list straight off?
I'm sure we could.
And then do another list.
Oh, lots of lists.
And how do we keep the list separate?
I'm not sure yet. I've got to...
Because I'll keep getting the hedgehog in the microwave.
Wait a minute. I'll find out.
Find out what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Here's the piano. You can play the piano.
I've never played the piano.
You sit here.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away.
Hello.
This is Jennifer.
Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an interval. The performance will continue in 10 minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as the performance will continue in 3 minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats, as the performance will continue in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as the performance will continue in 1 minute. Thank you.
God gives your life meaning. You've said that.
Yes? So...
If there wasn't God, there'd be no meaning to your existence. So, does God have a higher God to give his existence meaning? And that God, a higher God, and that God...
No, of course not.
Of course not. So, all this stuff he's done, he might find it all a bit meaningless. I'm surprised he's not depressed.
I don't think he mind whether he means anything or not. I don't think he think about it.
So, why do you think about it?
Well, I'm not God, am I?
But I don't mind not meaning anything. Does that make me God?
Well, it makes you really annoying.
It used to just be pain.
The memories of what happened to you when you were a child, and
And the things I wasn't letting myself remember, of course.
the things you...
Yes. And now...
So, the analysis has stopped it hurting?
Not so much stopped.
As what?
Changed into.
Changed it into?
Transformed it.
Into what, though?
It has meaning.
Because you see where it comes from?
Partly that.
And how it's affected the way you are?
Partly that.
And partly what?
It just has meaning now.
What does it mean?
Doesn't mean something. There isn't exactly another thing that it means.
Then what do you mean when you say it has meaning now?
You spoil it. You completely spoil everything. You always do.
That must be painful for you. You can take it to your analyst and have it turned into meaning.
There's an exhibition of expressionist art.
How many languages do you know?
To speak fluently?
Or a bit.
Well, of course, some language I only know a few words, while others, I just,
Take something like a table. Take a table. How many languages can you...
Table, trapeze, stall, mesa, tarang, tabulka.
That's so fantastic. Tabulka, meza. They all mean table.
They all mean the same thing as each other.
Table.
Table means the same thing.
Yes, they all mean table.
Or they all mean mesa.
Oh, if you mean Chinese.
Or in fact Swahili.
I can't help feeling it actually is a table.
I don't want to spend an evening with them again.
You like them? You like her?
He will keep making his point about mathematics not corresponding to reality, because it's just a system our brains developed as we evolved in the world, and we've had that argument.
Whereas maths is really true.
Yes.
If why an equation wouldn't work without there being an infinite number of universes, there must really be an infinite number of universes.
That sort of thing.
But we do only have our senses, don't we, to perceive with. And maybe there's all sorts of other things we haven't evolved to perceive. Like an earthworm, can't know about flying. Or a bird, can't know about computers.
Let's have this conversation.
Why not go and see them and keep off the topic? We can argue about politics.
Because he won't keep off the topic. He likes trying to make me angry because he fancies you. And nobody understands what we're talking about. And the evening's ruined. And we all get drunk and I feel like shit in the morning and can't work.
Are you saying you never want to see them again?
He says maths is just consistent with itself. He says it doesn't mean anything.
What does it mean then?
Alright, we'll go and see them.
She fancies you.
You can't have children?
No.
You can't have children?
No.
How did you find that out?
When I was married, it came up. We had a test and It was me.
So was that why?
No! Of course not.
I thought it was, because she went off with the Spaniard.
She did.
And she's got a baby now, hasn't she? She and the Spaniard have got a bambino.
So it makes a difference, does it?
It's just a rash.
But why? Why a rash?
There's all kinds of detergents and animals and stuff in the air. Should we have him tested?
He's trying to tell us something.
Oh, come on.
Or he's trying not to tell us something.
Did you get the new cream?
What sex evolved to do is get information from two sets of genes, so you get offspring that's not identical to you. Otherwise, you just keep getting the same thing over and over again, like Hydra or starfish. So sex essentially is information.
You don't think that while we're doing it, do you?
It doesn't hurt to know it. Information and also love.
If you're lucky.
If your power goes out, remain calm and assist family members or neighbors.
Have you seen the earthquake? There's this building, my god. You think things are solid, but they just break.
Yes, I've seen it.
Imagine being in it. Imagine you're lying on your back and there's this wall a few inches above your face and you can't even sit up an inch. And if you do, it might come down on you. And the air running out. You keep trying to get a deep breath, but you can't breathe deeply enough because very soon there's going to be no more oxygen. And if you're injured, if you're in pain while all that's going on, and where are your family? Are they dead? Or in agony? And will anyone come to get you out? And how many hours or days? I'm just so upset by it.
I wouldn't want to be in it, obviously. Poor them, of course. I mean, I do know about it.
But you don't care.
I can't say I feel it. No. You really feel it?
I cried. Of course I feel it. I cried.
Okay.
And imagine the wave coming. Imagine hearing it coming and running away, and you can't get away. It came so fast. Did you see how fast it came?
Yes, I saw it.
You're not upset though.
That black rave with the cars in, it was awesome.
But what is it?
Pain is pain. It's just...
If I pinch?
Get off. But if I pinch you?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
But stop, because I get bruises.
How come you don't?
I never did when I was a baby.
You were born like...
Yes, and I used to chew my fingers.
You mean chew?
And they got bandage put over. I would chew them to the bones, because you know how babies...
Put everything in their mouth.
I put myself in my mouth because this wasn't any different.
And if you fell down?
I threw myself down.
But because it didn't hurt?
Jumped out a whole flight upstairs because that was a quick way.
And you were alright?
Broke both my legs, and once when I went swimming, there were rocks under the water, and when I came out, my legs were pouring blood because I hadn't felt.
So you can't feel anything?
Emotion. I feel feelings.
But physical?
Not pain, no.
And why not?
Because there's no signal going up to my brain.
From your legs?
From anywhere to my brain to say there's a damage. It's hurting.
So you never know what hurting is?
So tell me what it's like.
Hurting is, well, it's pain. It's like uncomfortable, but more. It's something you'd want to move away from, but you can't. It's an intense sensation. It's hard to ignore it. It's very...
But why would you mind that?
Because it hurts. But no. Sometimes pain's alright if it's not bad. Like, if your gum's sore and you keep poking it with your tongue. Or you might cut your finger and you hardly notice it. Yes, if you're doing something exciting, like soldiers can lose a leg and not even know it.
That's like me.
Yeah, but they know afterwards, and bad pain.
Yes, but why? What is it?
If someone's tortured, if they give them electric shocks, it's unbearable. Or if they've got cancer, sometimes they want to die, because my uncle, well...
Yes, but I still don't know what is it about pain.
It's just pain.
But what is it?
You've been unhappy.
Yes.
If someone you love doesn't love you, you thought they loved you and they don't.
Yes.
Or you've done something you wish you hadn't done. It's too late now. And you've hurt someone and there's nothing you can do to put it right.
Yes.
Does that help?
So it's like being unhappy, but in your leg.
But it's also just what it is. Like red is red and blue is blue.
But red isn't red. It's a wave and it's red to us.
So, there you are. That's what it's like.
Can I pinch you again?
Page 42.
Page 42.
The sentence beginning on the 21st of May.
Yes, I've got it.
I'm afraid that's going to have to go.
Why is that?
The Minister of Defence considers it a breach of security.
It's not classified information.
That is nevertheless their view.
Have you got a lot of these?
About 30.
Let's hear the next one then.
I am your wife.
You look like my wife.
That's because I am. Look, even that little birthmark behind my ear. Look,
Yes, I see it.
it's me. Darling sweet, it's me. I'm here.
No, she's gone. They all gone.
Who's gone?
Everyone I know. Everyone who loved me.
No, I love you.
I don't want you to love me. I don't know you.
There's things only we know, aren't there? That day on the beach with the shells. You remember that?
Yes, of course.
And cabbages. Why is cabbages a funny word? We're the only one who have cabbages as a joke because of what happened with the cabbages. Oh, cabbages is a joke, yes?
Cabbages was a joke I shared with my wife. I miss my wife.
But I am... Let me touch you. If you'd see what it feels like to touch me. If we made love, you'd know it was me because there are things we like to do and no one else would know that. If I was a stranger pretending to be her, I wouldn't know those things. You'd feel you were back with me. You would. I know. Please.
You disgust me. You frighten me. What are you?
You have to say you're sorry.
I'm not sorry.
But you know you hurt him. You have to say you're sorry.
I don't feel sorry.
You just have to say it.
The programme starts at 6:40, or if you'd rather, we could...
I've written down all the reasons to leave the country and all the reasons to stay.
So how does that work out?
There are things on both sides.
How do you feel about it?
No. I'm trying to make a rational decision based on the facts.
Do you want me to decide for you?
Based on what? The facts don't add up.
I'd rather you stayed here. Does that help?
I'm frightened.
Just walk instead of driving, and don't take too many hot baths.
I'm frightened for the children.
There were those emails, those scientists. I can't remember the detail.
No, it didn't make any difference in the end.
No, I think you're right. Most scientists all agree it's a catastrophe. The question is, how bad a catastrophe?
It's whether they drown or starve or get killed in the fights for water.
I choose drowning.
Are you really not going to take this seriously?
I don't know how to.
I don't know how to.
I'm just saying, you've got no choice.
I have.
You have, of course, you feel as if you have.
I've got a choice.
You've got a choice, but you've no choice about what that choice is. You'll make whichever choice
I want.
Whichever choice you want, but you'll want what you want. Because you have to want what...
I don't have to want.
You do, because of what you're like. That's what you're like means that you're going to want what you want. Because there's your genes and everything that's happened to you and everything else that's happening, and all that stuff makes your brain be like that.
Like what?
Like it is.
What is it like?
I don't know. Of course, I don't know. Nobody knows. But if someone could have that information, they'd know exactly what you were going to.
Can't. No.
You're crying about it now.
I'm not.
I knew you would.
But there's random.
Oh, there's random.
There's random.
If you think you're like a random particle...
No, but...
If you think you're like a random particle just fizzing...
But you can't predict even where.
If you think free will is a random particle, there's nothing very noble.
I didn't say noble.
So what is free will if it's not what you're like?
No one could possibly have all that information.
No, of course not.
So maybe that's alright.
I think it's fine. But it does change how you feel, don't you think?
I feel a bit funny.
Yes, you feel as if you're hurtling.
Hurtling through my life.
Like the front seats of a roller coaster.
But I feel like I'm choosing.
Yes, of course.
But I feel like I'm in the front seat of a roller coaster.
My God, look at that flower. Thank you so much. Have you ever seen such a red? Reddy's blood and bullfights, and seeing Reddy's anger, but Reddy's joyful, Reddy's celebration.
Yes, I like it.
In China, Reddy's lucky. How lucky we are to have red flowers.
Shall I get a vase?
In China, white is death. And here, black is death. But ghosts are white, of course. So a chessboard is death against death. And blood, of course, could be death, but it's lifeblood, isn't it? If you look at the flower, it's so astounding.
Yes.
It means so much to me that you gave me red flowers. Because red is so significant, don't you think? It means stop, and of course it means go, because it's the colour of energy. And red cars have the most accidents because people are excited by red, or people who are already excited like to have red. I'd like to have red. I'll buy a red car this afternoon and we can go for a drive. We can go right up through the whole country, don't you think? We can go to Scotland, we can go to John O'Groats. Did he eat a lot of porridge, do you think? But we don't have to start from Land's End or Land's Beginning. We should say if we start from there. But we won't, we'll start from here, because here is always the place we start from. Isn't that funny? And I need to drive along all the roads in the country, because I have to see to the traffic, because there are too many cars, as everyone knows. But our car won't be one too many, you'll be quite safe. We'll make sure it's all flowing smoothly in every direction, because cars do go in every direction possible, and everything goes in every possible direction. So we'll find a vase for the flowers.
Yes.
I think a green vase, because of the primary colours. And if they were blue, I'd put them in an orange vase. And if they were yellow, I'd put them in a purple vase. Yellow and purple is Easter, of course, so that's why crocuses. And red and green is Christmas, which isn't right now, of course. It's the wrong time of year. I might have to sort that out when I've got a minute.
Maybe you could read them a bedtime story tonight.
The girl waits at the door of her house on the mountain.
What it literally says is, mountain, girl, door.
So maybe...
A girl from the mountain is waiting outside my door. A girl climbs the mountain and comes to a door.
To get the girl, you have to go through a door into the mountain.
The mountain is a door only a girl can open.
The girl's as big as a mountain and can't get through the door.
What's the next line?
He's got a special stone.
Is that what he's holding?
Yeah, he's always got it in his hand.
I know, he's always holding.
Never puts it down.
Have you seen it?
Saw it once.
How?
Made him open his.
Shall we get it?
I think he needs it.
Yeah, should we get it?
Go and get it then.
It's over there.
Will he know which one?
Oh, we can get another one.
He might want that one.
Shall we get him one?
Here, have a stone.
Have another stone.
Have a stone.
What are you looking at?
A snail.
Is that the same snail?
Yeah. I've been looking at it for a while.
And?
I'm just looking at it.
He only has 2 months to live, so I thought we could...
Government officials insist that this is an isolated incident.
Are you sleeping?
I woke up early, but that's alright in the summer.
Eating?
Oh, enough. Don't fuss.
I've never had someone die.
I'm sorry, I've nothing to say. Nothing seemed very interesting.
He must have meant everything to you.
Maybe. We'll see.
I don't care what you say.
No, but listen.
I've never felt like this.
That's not the point. What you feel.
It's the only...
Because she doesn't exist.
I'm not listening.
She doesn't.
Have you seen her?
Yes, I've seen her, but she doesn't...
Have you talked to her?
I don't want to
Then what do you
talk
know
to.
about it?
She's not a real...
So?
So you admit she's not?
She exists. She still exists.
Fine. Alright. She exists, but so does your shoe, or a can of...
You're saying she's no different than a shoe.
She's got no more feelings than...
What do you know about?
She's a thing. She's a thing.
Look, I appreciate your concern, but just...
Look.
She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She understands me.
She doesn't understand you.
She listens to me. She likes my poems. She's the only...
Doesn't understand any.
She reads my mind. She's sensitive to my every...
But she's virtual.
So?
So she's not...
I can't believe just because somebody's not flesh and blood
She's just information.
And what are you, if you're not?
Yes, I know we're...
So we're information. Our genes are...
But she hasn't...
What?
Hasn't got an inside to her mind. She's not conscious. She can't...
How do you know she...
She's a computer. She's a computer game. She's not...
And can you tell that from what she says?
I don't need to.
But can you tell?
Because she can't...
She might. And how could she prove it to you? Because you wouldn't believe.
I certainly wouldn't.
Because she says she has...
What? Thoughts?
Of course. Thoughts. Feelings. Because she's that complicated. She says she loves.
She can't possibly.
We know people won't understand, but we don't care what you...
And what about sex?
What about?
She's not got a body.
She's got a fantastic...
But not a body you can...
She's not in this country at the moment.
She can't ever...
And the sex is great.
It's virtual.
It's virtual and great.
But she never feels.
I don't care what you say.
No, but listen.
I've never felt like this about anyone.
Who was the president of Coca-Cola from 1925 to 7?
H.B. Jones.
What is the smallest village in Central Asia?
Cat.
Where would you see a hoosh?
In a gnu's fur.
How many diamonds were mined in 1957?
60,428.
Name 2 traditional ingredients in a pulla.
Duck and fennel.
In 1647, what day was the Battle of Stoneham?
June the 3rd. Tuesday.
How far is it from here to Quasar D66?
3.4 billion light years.
What sound does a capercaillie make? Who had the longest hair?
Matilda Lucas.
Of?
Brickhouse, Connecticut.
What colour is a caterpillar of the brown-haired bat moth?
Pale orange with black stripes.
Do you love me?
Don't do that.
What is the formula that disproves Gödel's theorem?
X bracket A over T minus pi sigma close bracket to the power of 10 minus n to the power of minus 1 squared.
What is a plot?
A stringed instrument played by the larts of the Gobi Desert.
By what name do we usually refer to the Oceanus australis picardia?
I do. Yeah, I do. Sea anemone.
That's ridiculous. This is exactly. You have no idea what you're on about. I'm invited by Palestinians.
I reckon we deserve a bit of a reward. Come here, let's have a drink. I'll get you a glass of red or a glass of white or something.
Fountain of antimatter in the Milky Way that nobody knew existed.